Hey guys, welcome back. Another interview, another Fight Night EU, and this time I'm here joined by the bad boy of Runeterra, none other than SaltySimon. How are you doing, Simon?
I'm doing great. The bad boy of Runeterra. Sheesh. Never heard that before.
Well, someone had to say it.
Yeah.
You like this
I'll take it.
You have this kind of aggressive approach, you have this aggressive lineup, so I think the bad boy kinda suits you a bit.
Yeah, no, I can take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, but you are, we can say, a regular in these interviews because this is the fourth time for you. You are winning a lot of tournaments, and in this new patch you are winning a Fight Night EU, so congratulations for that. But for people who are not familiar with the series because it's rebranded, kinda new, could you tell the people who you are, what are you doing outside of LOR, stuff like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I outside of lore, my hobbies is just like sports and stuff. Right now I study some boring shit that I don't really care about, as everyone else, I guess. I also stream at SaltySimon CG if you ever want to catch that. But,
we're studying economics, if I remember.
No. It's account manager, business to business selling.
Oh yeah, it's boring.
Yeah, it's boring. I'm not going to work with it. I don't think so. I'm probably going to go into marketing or something. Unless Runeterra pops off and I win world or something. Then maybe something else. But yeah,
marketing,
that's
nice.
the goal for now.
That's my domain.
Yeah. I mean, marketing is interesting. I like marketing a lot.
Yeah, I'm glad. But Runeterra seems to pop off. We get a lot of... We basically got a revitalized game with all the nerfs reverted, with all these new cards. Yeah. So it's in a nice place.
You just win 2 seasonals a year and you're good. Easy.
I mean, are you planning to win one of the seasonals? Were you close to getting into the top cut in any of them?
I got the tiebreakers once, right? But I overslept the last one, which was a bit sad. So yeah, I have to get top 4 now in the next one to get into Worlds, but hopefully I can do it.
And you started on the right track this season, winning Fight Night, so everything is technically possible. But
yeah.
Less about that, more about what people are here because you won the tournament. People wanna see the decks that won the tournament, and first is Lurk. We talked a bit about it before the broadcast. Who influenced you to actually play this deck?
I mean, I think Lurk is one of the best decks. I said that myself for a while. I expected a lot of people to play Lurk, so my goal was to counter Lurk. I think for like almost a week, I spent above like probably 60 hours just trying to counter Lurk every single day, and I just couldn't do it without Noxus, right? Like I think Noxus is the only reading that counters Lurk consistently, and then I decided, well, I mean, then I just play Lurk, right? And then I think Delta was the person that convinced me the most, or make me realize that countering Lurk is not possible, right? And then that's the main reason I went with Lurk.
Do you think it kind of works because you said only Noxus counters it perfectly, more or less? So do you think it works in Fight Night because you can only play Noxus in one region?
Yeah, exactly. You have 2 decks and you can only play Noxus once, so at best it gets at worst it gets counter once, right? And at best, like least of K, but it still loses, right? Everything is like slightly unfavored, I think, into Lurk that it's not Noxus decks.
Yeah, makes sense. But this deck sees a lot of variants. Some people play it more combo oriented, some people play it aggro. What was your take on it, or how do you play it?
I mean, I started off with the full-on aggro, full-on predict list that is super high rolly, and I realized it's not good. Like, it's just, you rely way too much on the high rolls. You need to level Rek'Sai way earlier, and you don't have, like, for example, in Sin, if they stabilize, you need overwhelm units. You need Jarl Hunters to be able to clear boards. You end up losing so many more matchups if you don't play the big units. So I think like the more mid-range style is definitely the correct one. I think always. I don't think there's any reason to not play like this. Like the list can vary a little bit, but it's like -1 right of negation +1 don't bait to make the percentage a bit higher to hit Lurks. But other than that, I think this is probably definitely the best list right now, for sure.
Like, this list is kind of set in stone. You cannot juggle much with the ratios. Maybe, as you said, blood bait and right of negation. Why would you want double right of negation in your case and just 1 blood bait?
I mean, it's mostly because like against like Ionia decks, you want to be able to right of negations deny when you play Pike Spell. For example, like this lot of severe decks being played with Ionia, Zed, or Akshan right now. And if you hit the Pike Spell, you usually just win the game. So if you have the renegation backup, you win. If you have an renegation to stop them pomming your Rek'Sai when attacking with it, it's obviously the value is super high, and you need those counters to beat Lurk, and if you can negate these counters, you just win the game. So I think it's definitely a very solid card. Like I've seen Lurk decks that just remove all cards that are not Lurk basically, and then you just go triple of the Jarl Hunter and the 6 mana overwhelm, and it becomes like you end up being forced to play bad cards, and I think that doesn't justify the percentage increase.
And you mentioned you expected Ionia. What kind of Ionia decks? Lee, maybe you would expect as Karma to come back. What were you actually expecting?
It was mostly severe Ionia, either with Zed or Action. I think Action is better, but some people still think Zed is okay. I didn't expect Lee at all. I think it's a pretty bad deck, but I've seen, I think, Lee, 3 Lees, right, in Fight Night EU. 3 or 2. I didn't expect that, but I think I don't care about Lee. Like, it's okay deck. It beats aggro with the 6 eyes most of the time, except Discard. I still think Discard is favored. Because Crowd Favorite is a good card, and Jinx is hard to remove. I don't know.
Yeah, judging your last game that you had with this card that we're going to get in in a second, this card can get a lot of nasty hands. Not that they do not get nasty hands already. They can get even better.
Yeah, of course, for sure.
But I see Pike being the crucial champion most of the time in these Lurk decks. What is Rek'Sai doing if Pike is so strong?
The Pike is only really that important in matchup that is like slightly kind of closed for you, right? Like the decks, like Severe said, that is 50-50 into Lurk. Like the Pike spell just changed the matchups there completely. Or against aggro, you need a Pike spell to stabilize. But like in the end, you still need to have the Rek'Sai. Like winning without the Rek'Sai flip is still pretty hard. Like the value you get, the OM damage is really important against the Sin, for example, to be able to close the games out. So like the massive OM damage is really, really important in many matchups. So I still think like if I could cut the champion, I would cut Pike over Rek'Sai, 100%. But if I were forced to, rather.
Right,
so I still think Rek'Sai is maybe more important.
This is more of a curiosity, but how fast did you get your Rek'Sai to level up the fastest possible in any game?
I think when I played the high roll list, it was definitely like turn 4. But in this list, it's not. It's like I can't really see myself getting it before turn 7, 8. Like even 7 is really fast, I think. Like 8 probably, 8, 9.
But
it's pretty standard, I think.
Even if you have that downside, is it more consistent because you have this specific build?
Like it's not supposed to be early champion, right? You can look at that. You can compare it to like Tryndamere, right? Like you play it as a finisher, and that's all you need to do. Like you have so many, like it's a minish deck. You just play the curve, and then you just curve out with the 6-drop Jarl Hunter, Rek'Sai, and then you just kill them. It reminds me a lot of like Bannerman. It's just a more complicated Bannerman, I think, but it reminds me a lot of the playstyles, for sure.
Do you think Lurk has been finally figured out and people can choose a variant that they can play, or do you think there is still more tinkering to do for the list? Because in the beginning, people were saying Lurk is high rolly, you need to hit Lurk, but now people are trying to understand the deck a bit.
Yeah, I don't agree with that statement, like it needs to get high roll because the odds of missing Lurk is low. Right? It's the same when we talk about a good hands in Discord, right? That also it happening is so high that it's not a high roll. Except when you top deck, that's a high roll. But I would say this list is figured out. Yes, I don't think there's many. I think you can change like 2 cards max, and I think this is definitely the best deck right now of Lurk.
Right, let's go ahead to the star of your lineup, to Discard Aggro. I think you've always been bringing some sort of Discard Aggro, even when we interviewed you in OLS and the last Fight Night. Discard Aggro is always there. Why?
Yeah, it's a deck that can beat anything. I think that's the main consideration. It has a lot of great matchups. Then it has matchup it loses slightly to, and then it beats everything else to some extent. Like it can make any bad matchup into a good matchup with good draws overall. But it's a consistent deck that does perform really well. Overall, I think it's the best aggro deck by far. I think right now I would definitely put it as one of the best decks in the game, and I think it's been there for a very long time. It's only like the triple whale decks that fucks it over a bit, but even then it's usually not enough to just have to remove what you actually need to stabilize more as well. So I think it's just a well solid deck to have in almost any lineup.
And how did the new additions and new changes actually impact the deck? Because I see Boom Baboon, that's a new card, and most importantly, Ramage is now 2 mana. So how did these two impact actually the deck?
I think they even out a lot actually. The Ramage nerf obviously matters. 1 mana increase, 1 from 2 is like very bad, but the card is still really good. You still play it because you wanna be able to burst flip Jinx. Drawing 2 cards is never bad, and then Baboon gives you those extra discard targets. Like Baboon is a really good card in this card. The reason why I say 2 off is because you don't need to have 5 Flame Choppers, right? You mainly play Baboon for the Flame Choppers, not for the body most of the time. It's just an extra discard founder, and it makes Ramage better, right? Baboon makes Ramage better, but the nerf made it worse, and therefore it kind of evens out. I think the power level of the deck is not worse or better, it's just the same, I think.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything else to say about this card in this meta, or what are the matchups, the bad matchups? You said it's a list that can win a lot against a lot of things, but what does it struggle against the most?
I mean, of the meta decks, nothing. That's why I think it's the best deck right now. I think there's like off meta decks like Anivia and stuff it uses to, right? But no one plays that. Like even the Viego deck it beats, they don't even play Wild Fist. Like how do they win? They don't win, right? Like it's that simple. The lead deck is okay into it. Like I can fuck you over. I still think it's a very close matchup. I still think it's like the favorite for Discard, but I haven't tested it. Like the 6 eyes can change stuff, I think. But, like it's close. I will put the 50-50 into the, and then it depends on draws. Other than that, it beats Lurk, it beats severe decks. It beats actually 100%. Beats Zoe 50-50. Beats all the other aggro decks. I mean, yeah, it's legit only like Anivia decks, and that it doesn't exist, right? So I think, yeah, there's not much. If you want to play Discord.
I mean, especially ladder, you are not going to see Anivia because people value their time while climbing. They are not going to spend an hour to win or lose one game.
Exactly.
But yeah, speaking about this card and how consistent it is, how strong it is, let's put a fast forward to the last game against Guardia. He was playing, if I'm not mistaken, Lee, and it was a rally of good cards from both sides. He got most of the Eye of the Dragons. You just got the aggressive top decks. How did you feel about that game?
I mean, I felt a bit bad. Like my top decks was a bit nasty. They were a bit too good, I think. I think there's a lot of things, but like I think it's so easy to get caught in that moment of like, oh shit, he has high on the top decks, but it's so much more than him. Like he drew to die. I dealt early damage, which the matchup should go like that. I could have a way better early start. My start was not bad by any means, but it could be way better. Jinx is more important than anything else. Like our favorite matters, but there's usually answers to it, right? So Jinx matters way more. I didn't draw Jinx. I top did double card, which obviously is amazing. He didn't have an answer for it, therefore I won. But like he stabilized for so long. Like it took me so long to actually kill him. And it's, if he's able to deal with one crowd, like all of a sudden it turns around. If I don't top take Jinx, I lose. And I think we both drew really well. And I ended up being on top because I drew a little bit better of the top takes. That's it. But yeah, it was very exciting to watch, I think. It felt good to win. I expected to lose the series because I think his lineup is counters mine a little bit. So I expected to lose. To be able to go 2-0 and 2-1 it feels really good.
But I think even last time when we saw you, you have this kind of fast finishers. When you entered the bracket reset, that 2-0 didn't take that long. And how did you feel about the games against TF Swain? Because it is a deck that in theory fares well into aggro in general. So why do you think you won?
I think Discard beats TF Swain. I don't think they can deal with all the threats. I think TF Swain is he's not the best deck. It's okay. It's a deck you can play in tournaments sometimes. Obviously, he made finals with it, so it's okay. It beats Lurk though, and that was the most. I expected Lurk to struggle against. I thought Lurk would beat Lee, Discard would beat Lurk, and then the Discard with Lee matchup would be, close. So 2-0ing TF Swain was not expected at all. I don't remember how the Lurk matchup actually went with it, but I think I guess I probably a stand-up played too many big units and he couldn't deal with them all, and then I won, right? Which makes sense. I haven't played TF Swain at all, so I don't know exactly the matchups in my head, but I would assume it should beat Lurk. But Lurk is, of course, one of the best decks. He can always pull out wins. And then, but I expect it to beat TF Swain with Discard, because I think Discard wins that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, in general, TF Swain should have a good matchup because you put a unit down, TF Swain clears it. You put another, TF Swain clears it. And when you manage to build a considerable board, a keg and TF red card just finishes it off. But you managed to go past it.
Yeah. You just have so many big threats, right? Like, because they need 2 cards to clear everything, right? They need to deal damage and then execute it, and then they only play 2 execute cards and harpoon, right? And you have the 5-drop, that's 3 cards. You have the 6-drop, that's 2 more, that's 5, and then you have Rek'Sai, which is 8 cards, and then your Hunter is also big threat because it's so big. But all of a sudden you have like 10 cards, and then with the more you lurk, the bigger threats you got. All of a sudden your 1-drop is 10 attack, and you have to clear that, and eventually they just run out. Like they can't just clear the board. They have to put pressure on you. They have to get Swain out. I have to get the ship out, and then hope for the best. And if I have Park Spell to kill the ship, I win. If I have Bomb Screw to kill the ship, I win. Like it's not just about clearing the board. You have to actually kill them. You have to kill Lurk, otherwise you will lose 100%.
I think in the game you won with Lurk, you were specifically holding off onto your Bone Skewers quite a lot, just baiting out removal after removal. Was that intended? What was going into your mind in those games?
I mean, the main reason for Bone Skewering, because I know I want to target Swain or the ship, basically. That's the main reason. I also didn't want to top take card to top take the cards that he cleared. And that was also a good reason. I want to draw better cards. So those are the 2 big reasons. But like killing the ship, like he was 8 mana, I played 2 mana, and that's like a huge uptrade for me. And I gain a lot of tempo. I can develop again, and then I can usually kill him because I put him down low enough, and then I case open attack lead, which is kind of what happened, I think. So there's no reason to save it. And also, I never want to kill TF until it's about to level up, which doesn't really happen because I don't want him to replay TF to be able to like stun a Rex or something.
And I think you kind of had up psychological warfare because you gave Guvarde that boost of confidence. Every unit I can put on the board, he can kill it, he's going to waste his removal, and in the end that mattered because you had a Bone Skewer to kill the big threat.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's look a bit at the lineup overall. What did you want to actually face with all this lineup, with both Lurk and Discard Aggro?
I wanted to face Sel Severe. I think I beat that twice, kinda. That was the main reason. Other than that, like when I build decks for Fight Night, the main thing is to make sure I don't get countered myself. That's the main purpose. If I don't get countered, I feel comfortable. Like if I play 50-50 matchups, I feel fine. I'm comfortable in my skills, And then of course it doesn't always go your way, but like card games. So what I wanted to face was just not counter decks, which doesn't really exist. Anivia sure, but Lurk beats that, right? That's why also I paired Lurk with Discard, because the bad matchup for Discard is a good matchup for Lurk, and the bad matchup for Lurk is a good matchup for Discard, right? So in worst case scenario, I'm always going to be in a 50-50 spot. So I didn't really care too much what they play. Because I was a little bit scared of all the leads for some reason. I shouldn't have been scared of the lead, but I was. 6 eyes is very scary to face always.
I mean, do you think that Lee is way scarier now because they are playing so many eyes or so many tools to get the eyes, even gifts from beyond?
I mean, yeah, like when you play like eyes and free gift, yeah, like eye fucks you up. Yeah, definitely can. Lurk has answers. Like Lurk still wins the matchup because they're able to clear the eyes pretty easily. Like they have the one more fish, they have Pike's Battle. If you have right negation to back that up on scripts, like you win that match. Lurk beats Lee every time. I don't think you can build Lee to beat Lurk. I don't think that's possible. But yeah, like when you play aggro, even if it's Discord, even if I feel comfortable in the matchup, I know what I need to do to win. Facing 6 eyes is scary. Like it is. But yeah, like I said, I shouldn't have been that scared. It shouldn't. It could have been. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely scary, but I want to ask you a bit about your evolution as a player, because from what I know from you, from your early days, you weren't always this aggro player, because you were more mid-range. Even in Fight Night, when I think we played against each other, you were on S-Draven and Fiora Shen. You weren't always on this discard train, or this aggro train, so what made you shift to this aggro lineups?
I mean, I think it's just better. I think, in my past card games, I've always been a combo control player. I know my friends meme, because I only play aggro right now, almost. Combo control has always been what I play. Freeze Smash is my favorite deck of all time, I think. Karmas is close by, even in Gwent, in every card game I played, I always liked the combo control decks. And when I started playing Runeterra, I also liked the combo control decks. I love Karmas. I like this Raven. Right now, it's just not strong enough, it doesn't fit. Even if you look at this fight, no, it just wasn't there. Lee Sin, sure. I hate Lee Sin. Like I think that's the main reason. I hate Lee Sin as a deck.
Why?
And I don't know. You rely on so many weird draws, and I don't know. I just don't like the way it plays out. Like the feeling of it doesn't fit me at all for some reason.
And maybe
like if you compare it to Karma S, like Karma S is a true combo deck. You deal 20 damage in one turn, you feel happy. Lee Sin is like you play one unit and you play one overman card and you hope for the best, right? And I don't know. I don't like it. It's never been my type of deck. And I think other than that, there's no real combo or control deck being played right now. Even Swain doesn't really play like it. It's just a midrange deck with removal. Same with just Raven.
Yeah, so...
But yeah, like I don't like midrange decks. Midrange decks is my most hateful archetype of decks. I don't like midrange decks at all.
Why?
I don't know. They're kind of boring. It's not the thought process is like less, I think, because you always end up playing the curve. Like I didn't like Bannerman. The only reason I played Bannerman is because it was easy to play and it was very strong. Like I never didn't like playing Scouts. I played a lot of Scouts, but I didn't like it. It was just good. I don't know. Midrange decks is the thing I hate the most because they are so like standard midrange decks. Like Lurk is midrange deck, but I like playing Lurk because it doesn't play like a standard midrange deck the same Bannerman does, right? If that makes any sense.
And what are the key decisions, since we brought up this subject, what are the main key decisions that make Lurk such an enjoyable deck to play?
It mostly comes down to understanding when you need to play the Bone Skewers and when you need to actually get the Pike spell. The prediction that's saving the prediction for your attack tokens is almost always correct. You want to predict into the champions. You want to mulligan for an aggressive start for the most time. I don't think there's that many key moments. It's just understanding the deck. I think Lurk is one of the decks that plays the same almost no matter what. I don't think it changes too much per matchup. It's a very straightforward deck to that. It's just the key moments is probably just realizing when you need to play the color back in your hand. So that's just you normally just play it and hope for the best. It's not what else. It's not that complicated to play. I don't think Lurk is a hard deck to play once you understand it.
But what else are you experimenting with on ladder? We've got new cards, so what else are you playing?
I mean, I played everything. Like I said, I spent an entire week just trying to counter Lurk. I tried everything, all the severe decks. Right now after new cards, I tried some Viego. Doesn't feel amazing. Probably gonna try some a bit more today, but Action is really good. Action Severe is probably the best Severe deck right now. I tried Action Lee. It doesn't feel amazing. It's okay. Then of course we have this infinite combo bullshit that's happening right now. Holy shit. I hope that gets hotfixed. It's so boring. Infinite shouldn't be a thing. It's so dumb. Which I haven't played it, but I've seen it. But it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I hope they fix that immediately.
I think the main advantage is not that many people are playing that. Some people just want to enjoy the game. They play their favorite decks. But there are some people who understand that. And until it's hotfixed, there's no reason not to play it and get some LP.
I mean, yeah, sure. But I don't know. I don't think it can never be fun to play against. That's the thing. It's because it doesn't end. You have to concede to make it stop, and when you force to concede to stop something, I don't know. That's a bit silly to me.
I think the main implications are on tournament now, right? Because now Riot added the best of 3 type of games to the friendly challenges. Now the grassroots tournament are going to use that. And what do? If you lose game 1 and you did not ban the infinite combo deck, the other player is just going to keep you hostage until the time runs out.
We can concede, but yeah, that's all you can do, right?
Yeah, that concede.
The deck is also it's supposed to be infinite combos is supposed to be a meme archetype. It's not supposed to be competitive. And the fact that the deck is really good, because the deck is really good, it is probably even tier 1 deck right now. It's crazy strong. That's I think a big problem.
I think it won't be a big problem for you because from what I've asked people here and there, the deck loses to aggro.
Exactly. That's why I'm bringing aggro today. You know what that's.
Oh, yeah, you are expecting a lot of people to bring the combo.
I don't actually know, man. I don't have cards on NA, that's why. I'm forced to play aggro.
I mean, it works. Last time you played LS aggro, you won.
Yeah, I also played the Scrim tournament last weekend and I got top cut at least. So. Yeah. But NA is fucking weird. And it's just anti-aggro everywhere. And it's fucking crazy. No one plays aggro in NA, but everyone plays anti-aggro. It makes no sense to me. But yeah.
It makes no sense because Americas were known for playing more aggressive decks, and we were known for being those laid back guys that play their controls combo decks. They're going to control the game all the time.
Yeah, I think that's in almost every con game. It is in Horseman as well. It was like that for a while. But Asia, I guess Asia was actually the more aggressive server back in Horseman.
Well, Asia on LR, they are playing a lot of creative decks. They are
Asia on lore is just the fucking smoking copium. Like, I don't know what they do. Asia on lore is weird. It's
there are something else.
I want to make Asia Smurf so bad and just play it, but it's so boring to play on Smurf. But I would love to play like Masters in Asia because that would be interesting to see.
Ask
But like they don't know how to build decks. Like they actually just build decks incorrectly. I would say that it's factually incorrect the way they build decks. It's not correct at all. But it works somehow for them. But it's probably because they play against other non-correct decks. That's why.
Why do you think they build their deck incorrectly?
I mean, they build it in so inconsistently. Like I don't know, man. They watch too much anime. They believe in the heart of the cards. That's why. I will go that far. They believe in the heart of the cards. That's why. It doesn't make sense. You don't build decks with that many one-drops and one-offs. You know, you can't just believe in it will happen. Like, you need to build it consistently. There's some math behind it, you know. Like, I don't know. It's just wrong.
We're going to see. I mean, we're going to see, especially when we're going into Worlds and where all these archetypes and all these playstyles are crashing. NA versus EU versus Asia, Southeast Asia, yada yada.
Yeah, that would be exciting. Exciting for sure. I can't wait for Asia to get knocked out immediately.
And we can't wait for you to actually get in. You need to get in.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be cool. I don't expect it though. I have my hands for now. I'm probably like, you know, I had the season off, but yeah, I expect to get in. They also were against me, and then I'm gonna prepare for the next one instead. That's my mindset right now.
Definitely, but we are nearing the end of the interview, and you know we have our traditional 2 questions. First and foremost, who helped you to prepare for this fight night?
Yeah, we had the standard group. We have Catasus, Delton, Check the Sorry, Broken Ball, and Coinclip. Yeah, that's everyone, I think. I don't think I missed anyone this time. I missed the fight night, actually. I didn't shout out Catasus. Man, I forgot, dude. But yeah, Catasus helped me probably. Yeah, Delton and Catasus the most. But everyone helped me out a bit.
Nice. And you know, this last question, if you could tell something to all the viewers, just one thing before we're closing the things off, what would that thing be?
Actually, viewers? Sheesh. Don't leave the game. Play. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, just play. It's a fun game we're getting you, cause everything is going to be alright. But with that, we're ending our interview. Thank you, Simon, for being around. Congratulations again for the win.
Thanks.
And hope to see you. I mean, we're definitely seeing you in Fight Night EU next week. Hope to see you winning one more time. But that's all
for sure.
That's all from us, guys. Until next time.